Hello and welcome to this second day of our 3-day webinar with Elite Power Teachings, Opening of Your Power Within. And I'll just allow you to find me and share the link because I'm streaming in 2 different places, but I would like to share it some more. And here it is. And just to share, it's pretty new for me. My name is Marianne Lane. I'm a modern shaman of the new era from Denmark and have since 2012 December worked primarily solely with energy channeling and teachings, and have for a year worked on my progress on sharing the teachings and the possibilities from a new era, also more international, because I'm guided to it from the inside, and also because I've met people who told me that I should. So even though it has been, you could say, a little bit difficult because I have so much to do already in Denmark, I had to have a really intense call from the inside to take the steps, but I'm doing it. So this is a part of it. This is a part of me sharing these teachings, and I know that I have a good support from Denmark, so probably the one who's here would be primarily Danish as well. I had a couple though in the first of these 3 webinars who was English, it was English speakers. Okay, so some of you have found me, and let's open. All of the teachings that I'm doing, all of the sessions that I'm holding is carried in by energy. And this is an energy that's available to each and every one of us. By working with the field that's created by the energy, by working with the field, how to attend it and how to interact with it, it gives me the possibility to share it. So I'm holding this field of energy now to share it. And for you to attend is to agree. And somehow you agree upon this just by being here and watching and listening. But if you put your intention, like saying, agreeing actively, then the energy will reach you more firmly, more dense. And you can create a couple of intentional sighs as well to support the shift that will go on. So when I hold the field and you enter the field, you might experience this shift in your energy. It can, to some, feel a little bit wobbling, so that you can be a bit dizzy, or it can be a bit strange. But to me, it's like it's a sign that something is going on. And if you find it uneasy, unpleasant, you can sense your body and how it touch the surroundings. Then it used to stabilize, or you can look down a bit, breathe, and then look up. That also usually supports you to stabilize your sensing. And the energy begins to stabilize, balance, de-stress your system, because to be able to connect with the teaching that I'm opening here, the better you sense yourself, the better you sense the energy, the better the teaching will reach you. So the support from the field is to enhance your availability for the teaching and also to open your access through your own inner knowledge, your own inner wisdom, to recall, reconnect by reflecting and by sense that there's something here that you recognize and you don't need to understand it. Actually, the way I'm teaching, a lot of people don't understand it, and that makes sense because it tried to reach through your boundaries, through your already knowings, and open from within. So you begin to acknowledge things in a different way, you meet it in a different way, you see it in different ways, you respond in different ways. And these different ways makes more sense to you, is more sensible, and supports your connection with yourself, your own energy, your own consciousness the best way. That's not just something I say to be smart. It's practiced. I worked full time since 2012 and have done thousands of sessions and teaching several hundred people for a lot of hours and teaching teachers as well. So this is something we have tried a lot. It sounds different to each and every one of us, and to some it takes some time before it's acknowledged, and it's okay. If you find this interesting in any way, even if you find it annoying, it could be an idea to participate, because sometimes when we are annoyed, it's actually because it's important and we have resistance. Breathe. Send your body, your system. And if you have a sense of relaxing more than you did just before, and that it shifts in a different way, this could also be a sign. Using the signs to create our own entrance, to relate to whatever that goes on in the energy is important. Because I can say a lot of things and it can resonate with you. So you say, okay, this could make sense. It makes sense to me. But it's important that it opens through your own experience afterwards or at the same time. And the energy in the field and your connection with this supports this entrance. Okay. I sense the energy is stabilizing. It's de-stressing. And now I sense, you could say, a little bit highering of the vibration, and this will lift the energy in a way where your awareness about what's going on will be more fresh, and you can lean back and just watch if you have any recognition of this, any acknowledgement at all or not. To me, it gives a little tensions in my chest to begin with, then tensions in my jaws. It's not unusual to me. And now I begin to have this sense of a lift in the energy, a refreshing energy that comes with the hiring of the vibration. And it's still stabilized hiring, so it's hiring your vibration to the best stable vibration that you can carry. And maybe you sense as me, something is going on, something is refreshing. Maybe you don't. It's okay. Maybe if you come back another time, use the video again, then you will have another experience. Okay. So we had one teaching, and these teachings, I opened them by recall the teachings before, and then I invite you, if you were joining in the first teaching, I invite you to lean back and see if this will land in you in a new way, different than the first time. And I have done a couple of these series of free webinars. And if you have participated in them, you will recognize some of this. And then again, I invite you to see when you open it again, when you meet it again, will it open in your consciousness in a new way, differently? New angles, new perspectives, new understandings. Okay. This is called Elite Power Teachings, Opening of Your Power Within, an easy access for everybody who wants to benefit on the ongoing shift in consciousness in new ways. And the first series I have of these Elite Power Teachings was much about what is the new era and how is this related, and how is this changing our system, and how does this work. My name is Marianne Lane. I'm a modern shaman of the new era. I think I told you that already. What we opened in the first teaching and also the other teaching is this training through zeroing of your senses. A single multidimensional focus exercise, mindfulness in a high strength. And if any one of you participated in the first one, have you been using this in your everyday life? Because that's the idea. The idea is for me to tell a lot of things and hold the field, open the energy, and then for you to use it and have your own recognition of what this means to you. So the idea of this is that you open one sense after the other, and you keep the connection with the senses until there's not space enough anymore, and then you keep it there as a kind of zeroing, centering, and focusing practice. You can choose any sense, but it's a good idea that the first two senses, they are related to your body or your body experience. So to me, I will share the sense of my body resting on the chair as the first one, and you can share anyone else. And then you allow this sense fill you up in the whole of your body. I do this as well. And then what's happening when you do this? To me, it gets a little more silent. I can sense that some noise is released. And I didn't acknowledge the noise before. I didn't recognize it. I didn't see it. I didn't sense it. But when it's gone, I sense that it was there. Okay. Now open a second sense. And the first is still present. And then you allow the second one to fill you up. And I will use my hearing and listening to my own voice, the sound from the background, and this sound of energy that I'm usually here when I work. It's like a sound really high frequency. It's like inside of my ear, and it sounds a bit like when I was a child and we had these televisions, where when you have turned down the volume and it was still ignited, there would be this sound. So I listen to this and my voice and everything in the surroundings, and I allow it to fill my body, the whole, and at the same time I'm still with the sense of resting on the chair with my body as well. And then I think I will allow, like, me being excited about holding these teachings in English. I'm excited about that. It's refreshing, it's new, and I'm yeah, I'm curious for how this will spread, if anybody can use it. And I'm like a channel, so I have a sense, I have an experience that this teachings is not something that I have like created. So I'm delivering it, and it gives me so much, and I have given it to so many different people who really have had benefits of it. So it's okay for me if not everybody benefits, and it's actually important for me that the people who use their time and effort on attending, that they actually have an experience that this makes sense to them. I think it's important for all of us in our life that we really will be serious about how we use our time, how we spend our time. Okay, so one more sense, I can have one more sense, both being excited, having the sense, having the hearing. 2 to 3 senses is normal. 3 to 4 is that's some. 5 to 6, 7 is much. This is not about containing so many levels of senses at the same time as possible. This is about filling up your bandwidth with a chosen sensation until there's no much space. And then you're zeroing in, like a restart on your cell phone or in your computer. And from how the energy works right now, this is just this simple training exercise can make a huge difference and stabilize your consciousness, your energy, your energetic field. And we talked about in the first teaching how to navigate that. This possibility to navigate, we will use our sensitive system to navigate, and we will do that because by zeroing we will be quiet, and then when it's completely quiet you will have this sense of something that opens. So we'll find the balance and read the signs, and the signs comes from our own system, and the signs is about enough or more. So we talked about in the first teachings make lists about what's a sign in your system when something is enough and when you need more. To list this in a lot of different ways, and then zeroing in, and then being completely aware about this micro awareness. So micro signs. I am the direction. And as I am the direction, every choice I take, if I'm micro aware about what happens in my energy, what happens in my emotions, what happens in my body, and I have this sense of how a lot of signs shows me if something is not enough, and a lot of I want more of this, and a lot of signs that says enough. All these small signs, I use them when I'm micro-aware, zeroing, creating the silence inside. And then the direction show I'm aware of when I put my attention, when I put my attention on something, when I put my intention on something, what happens in my energy? what happens in my emotions, what happens in my body. Because this is the smallest choice of direction. Your intention and your attention. So right now you're giving, I suggest, I believe that you give me some attention here, that of what I'm talking about, what I'm sharing with you here, you give it attention. So if you're micro aware, what happens in your energy, what happens in your emotions and in your body as you're attending this with your attention? Have you created any observation about that? Otherwise, I would invite you to do it now. So if you kind of open your awareness, you observe, open your observer, what happens with your energy right now, your emotions in your body? Not like huge shift, but micro shifts. Okay? See if you can reach it. And if you can't, we'll try some more. Because this is quite important. We were just shortly passing this on the last teaching, the disrupting system. And as you're watching this that I'm talking about now, see if you can stay there. Stay there when you're micro aware, still having your attention in my way, and keeping your observer to track what happens in my energy, my emotions, my body with micro awareness. So this is the disrupting system. It's created by us being having genders and creating family patterns. So we have a feminine and a masculine driving force, drag forces. And we have the passive and aggressive that's related to us being a part of a system that is hierarchic and have been it for maybe all time. Then we have the highly complicated and the low simplified that can be reflected to higher and deeper levels at the same time. This magnificent system is disrupting because it can be self-degrading and creates multi-dimensional duality. It consistent through every layer of consciousness that we can carry this self-degrading consciousness and multi-dimensional dualities, because instincts is just as strong in higher parts of reflections as in lower. It's contradictory within itself, just it's self degrading. What's drawn in the middle, the 0 point, the grail state, is what we tried to reach here by a really simple way, by zeroing in through our senses and opening the observer and being micro-aware. When we will stay in that situation, in the state of being, then your sensitivity creates your ability, and then this is turned around to the power system possibility, where it's unbreakable, it's free, it's unlimited, it's self-constructive, it's interconnected, collective as well as unique. So right now, you have given me your awareness. You have given the teaching, the awareness, these messages. What has been going on micro-wise in your energy, in your emotions, in your body? Have you recognized, have you observed any change, any fluctuations at all? Or is it completely the same? I'm sorry, I just have the cell phone that I forgot to turn off, an extra. And my energy actually, micro awareness went up, my emotions went a bit down, and my body is the same. And I'm not analyzing it, I'm not putting words upon it, I'm just leave it there. That was it. Okay. So what is your signs of enough? What is your sign for more? We talked about that last time, that it's a really good idea to create lists of this, to be more aware, and to begin to use this as your compass. The more you listen, the stronger connection, the more stabilization, the more sense, the more clearness, the more sanity. Okay, and the emotions, afraid I don't get it. Okay. When you are present here right now, even though you're zeroed in, you have a state of being right now. In this state of being right now, you have a sense of your body, you have a presence that is carried through your emotional state. You can say that you can have emotional states being happy, angry, excited, but these are like the overall states. And then you have the different differentiations, the different middle states and combined states. So you can have difficulties in actually put words upon and describing your emotional state. But I think it's easier to recognize when it's shifting. So when my emotions shifting, I can observe that, I can catch it, I can recognize it. Does it make sense? Emotions creates motions in your energy, in your body, and in themselves. So the changes from different stages of feelings and sensations create this movement of emotions. Yes. Thank you for the questions. Please ask some more. So do you sense, if you observe and you give me your attention here, do you observe any change in your emotions, in your emotional state? Or is it the same? Micro changes. Because it's a micro changes we can catch with a sensitivity, and it's a micro change that we can use for opening or compass or inner compass. Thank you. So the more you listen to this, I know it's difficult, and this is like a teaching with webinars, and I open it, we'll go a bit fast through it, but you can go back and use the replay to do it over and over again for you to take in the full teaching. I also do these teachings in courses and in classes, and will now and then open for possibilities for attending English courses, English classes. This is really new, and I only had a few until now with participants. I have also posted a couple where nobody showed up, and it's okay because it's new. But if you want to try to attend some of the teachings, please look up out on my homepage and in the group. I can put the link here for the group where you can where I put all the free courses, the free webinars, and also the one you can attend with payments. Can post comments to Facebook groups. Okay. It's called Events, Courses, Meditations, and Lectures by Modern Shaman Marianne Lane. I'll believe if you take my name, Marianne Lane, and write events and courses on Facebook, it will go through, and then you can open my homepage, mariannelane.com, and then you will also find the offers that we have. Okay. But you can use this and it'll still work, but we'll go a bit fast through it here, but then you can reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. And please ask questions also when you reuse it. So you have on the one side, you have this opening where you are really aware, micro-aware of your thoughts, your emotional state, and your body. And then you put your attention on something. The next is to put your intention on something. When you put intention on something, the reaction could be nothing, or yes, I will, or no, I won't. And we have worked with I will and I won't to open to a new foundation for consciousness. But this is a bit different. It's the same, but it's different. Because this is holding the same micro-awareness to catch. When I put my intention of doing something, what will happen with my sense of I will and I won't? And there's some difficulties with people, especially people who have been aware for a long time and maybe practiced spirituality and different teachings, because there's a saying that say the universe don't understand and know, and the universe don't understand I won't. Have you ever heard that? And I heard it so much. And it has been really true, because when you're in a state of lacking, it opens to negative vibrations. Negative vibrations open to negative manifestations. Negative manifestations opens to negative beliefs, and negative beliefs open to lacking, no matter what reality brings. So now you have a negative spiral. So you will create what you said no and I won't in the old ways, in the old days. But in the new era, it's the other way around. In the new era, it's possible to be in a chosen state of enough, nearly no matter what reality brings. And you can hear much more about in the earlier trilogy of teachings, Elite Power Teachings, that's in the group and in my website. No, not in my website, on my YouTube channel, The Void of Consciousness. In a state of enough, the I won't and I don't become strong, positive boundaries. The boundary stems up the energy and your sense of yourself in a state of enough. And you step into an empowered state where enough is the foundation. So when you're in the empowered state, the I will and I won't will enhance this and create a positive spiral. You can start this. You can start this by being aware of anything that you put your intention on, and then catch the sign in your system of I will and I won't, yes and no. So you can try this right now. So where you are right now, and thank you so much for the questions. Yes, replay is a great possibility. Thank you. So where you are right now, just see if you open one sense after another. Does it create a change? If it does create a change, it means you just slipped a bit, and it's normal. because being centered, being aligned, being zeroed is not a normal state. And your system will reach for this state of being that's normal to your system. By using this intense, this will be your new way of being, and then your system will search for this. So nearly all the teachings I'm doing is related to this and use this possibility to be brought in by the support of the field and the energy, be brought into this state, then keep searching, keep igniting it, keep using your intention to bring you back to it. And then this movement towards this state of being will be natural in time. And I can say this with pretty much confidence because I've been practicing so much and it works for me. And I have been really messed up in that way that my system created a lot of struggle and a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of mess. Not in reality so much, actually, being an engineer and worked pretty well in me in many ways, but on the inside, in the energy, it was messed up. And my system searched for messing up all the time. So practicing this a lot, I experienced that it's not messing up anymore. It's self-balancing more and more and creates space within me to work with this better and better. Any questions? Okay. Zeroing in with your senses. And then you can bring in any choices, simple choices that you have to make after this. If you have some, I can say, should I walk the dog, or should I talk with my husband, or should I watch my email? And then I can bring these in. It's pretty easy. It's not so heavy. I can bring them in, and then I can sense from a zeroing point of view micro changes that's from my rack of possibilities of I will and I won't reactions in me, but in micro perspective. You can try this as well. Bring in something that you're about to choose today, and let's try it. I don't know if you sense it, but to me it was quite clear. I practiced a lot. Walking your dogs? No. Talking with the husband? Yes. Checking different things? Yes. So, and this is a tryout to me too. The idea is to open this and be in this state all the time, and then when I'm moving around, making micro choices, micro intentions, then I begin to sense these reactions. And before I change into the new era on the 21st of December 2022, if you try to do this with no training, it will be disturbing. It will be like a noise. It will change all the time. And still, if you can zeroing in, if you stay in a state where it's still noisy, a lot of thoughts that's going on, and a lot of emotions is wavering through your system, your body is not quiet, it talks a lot from the inside and out, then of course you can't. So the zeroing practice is to make yourself silent enough to read the signs. And the signs that you have to read, you need to collect them yourself. And we have different signs that you should collect. It was your I will and I won't signs. And it was I will and I won't. And it was enough and more. Enough and more. I will and I won't. These signs, as many as possible, to collect them and at the same time practice zeroing. That's the way through to open to your sensitivity being a power. Empowers the possibility to find your way through your inner compass. Does it make sense? It's a bit abstract, but trying it out, it'll show you. And that's the idea of it. The idea of it is it's actually difficult to catch the understanding of it. And then when you try it, it's quite easy to recognize it, to have an experience with it. And this is to ensure that it opens in your own way. It's open through your system, through your way of comprehending. So it's not delivered to you, packed up in a way where this is how it should be. It's more like this is how it could be. And it's important because it invites your consciousness in to be aware, to create your own decisions, your own meetings with this immediately. And it's important because if you go through my experience, you have to start with this, get your own experience, and then you have to erase my experience from your system. It doesn't make sense. So it's easier for you to go directly to your experience. In the last series of Elite Power Teachings, Opening of Your Powers Within, we opened to the understanding of the power state and how to lift your own energy. And in this, we talked about opening of your inner compass. And that's actually what we worked with here. And now we work with the power state, even though it's in the first series of these webinars. So we opened our inner compass. We will be aware of a choice. I will and I won't. What state of energy, or it's misspelling, consciousness, awareness, presence are you in right now? How does your state change in this moment? What is the movement? That was what I just talked about before. And then you use the I will and I won't to search what gives you most energy. And with your micro awareness and this opening, I will and I won't, then you will have like a scope that search for exactly the right thing to give you more energy. And just where you are right now, if you ensure that you're zeroed in, being aware, observe if you open your senses, are you still in the same presence? Okay. Then you allow yourself to watch in your surroundings and then sense this micro reactions, I will and I won't. And then if you sense I will or more, then you allow yourself to like interact with this and then experience what happens with your energy within. And I found one of these pictures that I'm having here. And then when I'm watching it, I there's a lot of things that I could have stopped with, but I didn't, because there were no micro reactions of I want this, I more. But this picture, oh, that opens, this illustration that opened, and now I allow it to interact with me. So I'm aware of it. I am aware of the direction, my attention, and my intention of letting my energy be lifted. Even though I don't understand how can this happen, what is the difference? If I begin to analyze it, what is the difference to this illustration? If I relate to this, I wouldn't be able to answer. So I just allow my own system to decide. And then it's important here that before I allow it to decide, I decide what to choose among. So I decide to choose among something healthy, something that makes sense, something that's easy, micro steps. And because I make this choice beforehand, that puts a boundary for what it can be. And it's really important. When we play around with our consciousness and our energy, or primarily boundaries in reality should be present at all time. We should never cross that line, even though we practice working with our consciousness and the energy. So beforehand, put your boundaries. This is what I can choose among, and then you try it. It can also be smelling different things. It can be doing some chores. It can be working out in any way, and then you choose one before another, and then you experience, what does this bring me? Does this lift my energy, or does it bring it down? If two things is lifting my energy, is there a difference to it? Okay. So last time we had this list. We should work with in this webinar, what has this to do with the soul? We haven't talked about that yet. Micro and macro perspectives. We have opened that. Separation opens unification. We haven't talked about that. Different level, different truth. No. The source of the energy. We begin to work with that as well. I'm not sure that we'll reach all of these in this teaching, but then we'll do it in the last one. Let's take the soul connection. And we have a sharing here. It feels like opening up and energy lifting or closing down a bit, depending on what I choose. Yes. So what we can conclude here is that we have a choice. We have a choice with a compass and with awareness, or attention and intention. We have a choice to what we will do with our energy. Not all the time. Sometimes something is going on that we have to use our intention, our attention, and it will bring us our energy down, because that's life. But all the time when we have the choice, if we are training our system to go for what's giving us the most positive energy and a lift, then automatically through time our system will begin to search for this. Isn't that exciting? I think it makes so much sense. So that's the reason why I'm here, to share this with you. The soul connection. This is a little disturbing picture. but it's actually sometimes how it is. And the reason is because it's really difficult to keep these positive vibrations, and it's the positive vibrations that allow the soul connection. Here we mean the soul connection is the connection where you are allowed to sense yourself and to have your inner directions by your highest perspectives. So when you work with the I will and I won't, the sense of less and more, this is from your lowest perspective. And it's important that we begin there, because if we're not connected with our lowest aspects and perspectives, then our higher perspective will have difficulties and will end up like this. So the soul connection, we have a little talk about this as well. This is just a shame, a model where you have the soulful and the earthly part, and it's connected in union. And the unification opens through the balance between the separation. So when you separate the earthly connection and the soulful connection, that's actually what opens the possibility for the unification process. And that's what we're trying to show here, that in the beginning, that which unites and that which does not unite. And that we can work with this until everything is united and create the diamond. The diamond have the boundaries where the soul and the earth creature that we are meets and aligns. And it's about strength, eligibility, love, and wisdom. And this is something that's completely aligned through our soul part and our earthly creature part. So what we do here when we work with our compass, and that we work with opening of the power and empowering ourselves with positive energies, is that, and we are aware of what is related to our body, what is related to a physical being here, our creature part, and what is related to a soul part. And we meet this by opening to the initiative connection through I will and I won't, more and less, because that's related to the part of us that's related to earth vibrations. And when we begin with them and ensure that this is what gives me a presence here, and then we, from these choices that's chosen here in this reality, we begin to interact in different ways. Then we will lift the heritage, open the soul capacities, we'll begin the union, open to the strength, the eligibility, the love, and the wisdom. And we will practice this. So our choices will be more and more in that direction. It's important here to be aware of that our choices is not squeezing or eliminating the part of us that relates to earth, because then it will be a connection that ends up like this. So the separation ensures the unification. To be aware of what is this that I'm reacting to, what is this that I'm giving my awareness, my intention, my attention, and what is filled up here. Is it something that's here is earthly, or is it open in higher frequencies, higher vibrations, higher dimensions? And I will talk about the different dimensions, the different layers, how you can recognize them in the third teaching. related to this series, because I need a little bit of time for that, and there's not so much left. So next time I'll try to go through world perspectives, everyday practice, balancing different perspectives, levels of life. The sense of yourself opens ability to differentiate. We actually took the last part, opened that a bit, and began of the second last. Let's see about what we have put on intention on going through this time. What has this to do with the soul? We open that a bit more. The separation opens the unification, open that a bit more. Different level, different truths. That's next time. And the source of the energy, we begin with this. So most of it, we have been talked about it, opened it a bit. Okay. So right now, when you're here and you are zeroing in, sense yourself, different layers at the same time. Now when you meet your energy, your emotions, your body, what is the difference if you put it up to how it was when we began? In the beginning of this teaching, if you compare, we have a sharing. It's so crazy to see that I have a diamond in my heart. In the last healing I received, I had an extra heart and said that I need 2 parts. So all in all, I will end up with 4. That's beautiful. And the sharing here, more energy and more relaxed at the same time. Yeah, me too. And a little bit full in a really good way. And when we began, I was excited. I'm not so excited now. I'm more like satisfied in a good way. And looking forward to the next slide. No, next slide. Sorry, I read it. The next teaching. And they will be available on replay as well. Thank you so much for this meeting. So you can find me in mariannelane.com website. I have a YouTube channel, The Word of Consciousness. I actually have a small TikTok, Marianne Lane, the New Era, and the same as at Instagram. I have the Facebook page, Elite Teachings by Marianne Lane, and the group that I mentioned that I have given this long name that I never remember it. Event courses, meditations, and lectures by modern shaman Marianne Lane. And all the places you can find these different things that I'm sharing for free. And use this as much as possible. And I hope that you will comment and give me some questions also on the platforms. And then I will hope that you have the best of all days and that the energy will support you the best way. And I look forward to hear about how the compass works for you and to find your power within and open it. In this series with the 3 teachings each time, this is number 2, there'll be 1 more. And so all in all 9 hours of teachings that you can use for free. And there's another series, and the first 3 of them is available as well. So a lot of free teachings, a lot of free tryouts that you can use as much as you want. The energy will be present and support you every time you use it. The usage of this, and try to use it different times and different status of how you are this day. is a good idea. If you find this interesting and if you actually have a sense of the energy that something is going on, then to try it with different um, beginnings. So no, it's not the English word. With different foundations, actually, for the reading. So every day we have a different state of being. So meet the teachings with a different state of being, and then recognize, see, observe. Does it change your meeting with this? Does it change what you get out of it? Your experience, will it be different? That's also the beginning of creating your relationship with the field, the energy that supports this teaching. So thank you so much, and hope to see you again. Bye-bye.